Say marker, back to action review, guys. Get right to it. Netflix film action. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. aka Ryan680.
I'm Angelica. Howdy, Ange.
And this is the Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. You know what to do, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to us on our Alamo City Movie Talk page. And do not forget, guys, be sure to hit that bell notification, get notified for movie reviews and trailer reactions. Let's get right to it. Speaking of movie reviews, Angela, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about Netflix's newest film.
Netflix films. Let's go.
It's called Back in Action.
All right.
Back in Action, it's former CIA spies Emily and Matt are pulled back into espionage after their secret identities are exposed. And so it's starring Cameron Diaz and Jamie Foxx. And I will say, I didn't know nothing about this film going into this. Completely taken off. I think you had briefly mentioned the stars, and I was like, you know what? All right, I'm sold, because I really like Cameron Diaz and all that she's done. The Other Woman, I mean, obviously The Mask, so many other things that she's done. But I don't think I personally, aside from Charlie's Angels, back in the day,
that's such a
like a spy.
Take it as you will, guys.
Which
Charlie's Angels.
I loved the Charlie's Angels.
Charlie's Angels, and when they revamped it, it was definitely different. I didn't hate it. I just thought it was okay. But Charlie's Angels, the Cameron Diaz one, it's so good. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. But anyways,
yeah, because it's Cameron Diaz, Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, exactly. Come on.
But I haven't seen her besides that in like play this kind of similar role.
Yeah.
So I was pretty excited to see, especially her chemistry with Jamie Foxx, because we really like Jamie Foxx.
Yes,
he's just so funny and so talented.
Yeah,
they both are.
Yeah.
And I will say, I just really enjoyed this film a lot more than I thought I would. Now, is it the best film out there? No, of course not. But it was so entertaining. It was thrilling. It was really fun, and it was kind of funny because they have like a family now, so like a teenage daughter and a son.
Well, they give it up. Yeah, they give up
their spy life to be, suburban parents.
To be parents.
And it's just so fun to see them back in the game. And I will say, I always find it funny when we see how teenagers act towards
towards parents.
Because you see that in this film, and it's just really funny.
You see that point of view,
But I really enjoyed it. The stunts, the comedy, I really liked it. So, kudos for Netflix. Again, I think they're doing pretty well in their streaming movies so far.
Yeah, this is the return of Cameron Diaz acting ever. She retired and she's back. This is her first redemption film. And fun fact there. And then also, it's been a while since we've seen Jamie Foxx because of the accident, the stuff that happened with him. And so, this is really a triumphant human return to camera, to filmmaking here for actors, for both of them, really. And we get to see them really feed off each other's, they feed off each other's acting skills, especially being both parents and everything. One of the things that I did admire in this movie was the top knock jokes by Jamie Foxx. Oh my god, he feeds off of we talk about it a lot where it's like, okay, scripted, right? The script. But I feel like certain actors like Jim Carrey or certain actors just add their own flavor to it, and they really mix it up a lot to where it makes the film more funnier, and I felt like with Jamie Foxx and everything, he was really doing those one hits that were unscripted. Again, I could be totally wrong, but I still enjoyed that a lot. It felt very natural. It flowed very, very well. Cameron Diaz in here looks good. Like, she looks great.
They both look good.
She looks great.
They both look really good. And I would agree on, like, especially because you don't particularly like comedy.
Yeah.
So I think it's funny that you really liked some of the jokes that Jamie Foxx, because they were really funny.
It's not that I don't like comedy. I'm just very picky with comedy. I love comedies. It's just I'm very picky with them. We go back to this directed by Seth Gordon, written and directed by him, and this guy's done Identity Theft. He's done a few Modern Family directing episodes and everything. This guy's been around comedy for a very, very long time, even Parks and Recreation as well. So we got to see that little point of view there, and we got to see a different kind of comedy in here, more of a thriller, violent comedy, which is what everything's going, which is what everything's really happening right now, because you have those thrilling moments, especially when the action takes up an uprising, if you will, or just really has it picks up and everything, the action sequences, and it's really good. I'm not gonna say it's the greatest movie of the year, but it definitely is entertaining, and I had a good time watching this. Sadly, it's movies like this that I wish Netflix would just change their motto and just film them or premiere them in movie theaters. Gosh, why won't you?
This would have been a cool one, especially given the action sequences. They were doing pretty well. And I will give a nod to Kyle Chandler.
Yes. Oh, man. Yes. Well, I was going to go to that. I was going to go to him. So Kyle Chandler, my boy, Kyle Chandler. I loved you, man. I loved you, man, ever since Friday Night Lights. I mean, him and Tammy Taylor were just spot on, fantastic. And I just always wanted to, to admire him as a coach, admired him as an actor. I've seen nonstop interviews with him. He seems like a genuine person and everything. And I'm so excited. Again, we go back to where like James Gunn got the right guy to do it, and I'm excited to see him as Green Lantern. I cannot wait as one of the in the Lantern series. It's gonna happen, and this even put more assurance on me because of the acting that we got out of him in this movie. I thought was very convincing. It's a little bit small, little predictable moments, but call me crazy. I don't think you'll call the ending. I don't think you'll call the villain in here. You might think it's one person. It was good. Yeah, it's good. I kind of was like, wait, what if that happened? But it makes you question it. And that's a good thing about movies and filmmaking is that you kind of don't want to predict it, but at the same time, though, it's like, oh man, if you're wrong, it's like even better for me. I don't know, that's just me. But
and I will say, I also liked seeing, I think it's Jamie Demetrio and Glenn Close.
Glenn Close, oh my gosh,
they were both so funny. Both of them were great. Yeah. And I will say, I just love their characters so much. Yeah. I liked seeing Jamie because he's done a couple of things here and there. I think he's a really prominent comedian in the UK. Yeah. And he's just always plays really funny roles. But seeing his chemistry with Glenn Close, because they're like together in this movie, was just so hilarious. It was so funny. I loved it so much. But again, I think it was a really solid film. I agree. I would have liked to have seen it in theater. Given the action sequences, they're pretty cool.
And I love Glenn Close because she does these great drama moments. It was definitely different to see her in the more comedy, more lighthearted, not as deep and emotional. And
she's like a stone cold killer.
She's and she's one of the goats. She really is. And I just admire her. I love her as well because I love seeing her on camera. I do. I love seeing her work on camera. Same thing with Kyle Chandler. Same thing with Cameron Diaz. It's great to see. I cannot wait to see the next project she's going to be in because this gives me hope. And Jim Carrey, and there was a little comment on Sonic 3. There was a press release, guys, on Sonic 3. You can look it up. I promise. Saw this interview. And I think this was discussing film who interviewed Jim Carrey. And it was on the red carpet of Sonic 3. And they were like, hey, Jim Carrey, and this was right before the news where Jim Carrey spent a lot of his money. It was like, hey, I got to go back to acting. I got to go.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not really. I mean, he was already coming in Sonic 3, but he was all like, I'm just going to do Sonic movies. But now he announced right before the premiere was like, hey, I got to make more money. I spend too much or something like that, right? Something of that nature.
Yeah, the economy.
Don't quote on me on quote, but anyways.
We all feel you, buddy, on that one.
So going back into Jim Carrey's story here. So Jim Carrey really, he was just like, they asked him and they said, knowing that the world is full of sequels right now, could you ever see The Mask 2? Could you ever see, and he pretty much, and he's all like, knowing that Cameron Diaz is coming out of retirement too, it's like anything's a possibility.
Well, didn't they have another Mask movie? They
did Son of the Mask, which wasn't, I mean, my point of view wasn't that good. It was okay. I didn't hate it. I thought it was different. But at the same time though, it's Jim Carrey, and so going back to The Mask where I grew up and I pretended to be The Mask as a kid, movies like that influenced my childhood so much. And so I literally had a mask and I would just go crazy and pretend I was The Mask. But anyways, so I talking about that, if The Mask 2 happens, I'm fucking there in a heartbeat. I mean, I'm sold 110%. I don't give a shit. It's just it's an ongoing thing where they could make it work. They essentially could. Stanley Ipkiss could come back, and so. But again, I have to go back to where maybe he's maybe he's the boss of the bank now, or maybe he's maybe he quit that job. Maybe he's on to something else, adventures with Cameron Diaz. So possibilities are endless there. But
again, I love Cameron Diaz and what I've seen her in. Like the other one was what was it? What We Do in Vegas or something like that.
Oh man, I love that movie. Is so great to watch. Every time it's on TV, I have to watch it. It's like a no-brainer. That movie, The Other Women is another great one. That's a great one. That's a great movie.
I was on board from, like I said, we kind of jumped into this not really knowing what to expect, but the cast was stellar, and they did such a great job in this movie.
Yeah.
And I would say, like I said, the action was pretty good. The story was pretty cool.
The outfits were really good too, like the CIA outfits, like the tuxedos. You get to see that in the trailer. You get to see that in the poster as well. But again, we go, okay, so let me talk about this because I have to mention it because of the fact that it's true. So Netflix released a trailer for this earlier this week, and it's coming out this week. I thought that was kind of like, what the hell? Like, why are they all barely releasing trailer number one?
I know.
It's very weird.
I really want this to get a little bit more recognition because I agree with you. Like,
because I didn't even know it was coming out this week, and until like I was just like, wait, what? And then they released a trailer Monday. This movie comes out Friday. Why would they do that? It's kind of weird, but I don't know. Maybe they didn't have too much faith in it. But it's directed by Seth Gordon and everything, and it's still good. Yeah. Is this movie going to be like one of those films like What Happens in Vegas? I don't think so, but I mean, you never know. I mean, it might grow on you. It might grow on you.
But again, a solid film. Yeah. Like I said, was it the best film I've seen so far? No.
Yeah.
Is it the best espionage film? Absolutely not. But again, it's a really good film, and it's really entertaining. Like I think a lot of people are really gonna like this, not just for the comedy, but for the action too.
And there is some of that cheesy moments here, because especially with the kids. But again, it's there because it's a family. It's a family, essentially, and so like, I mean, it's kind of hard, cheesy warmness, heartwarmingness. Yeah. So was this film? Was this the film that we deserve to say yes? Yeah. Rating 1 out of 10. 10 be the highest. Angela, what do you give this rating?
I would give it a 6.5 because I really like the cast.
Like
they all brought their like big energy here, and they were all really good in their own sense. And I just liked all the characters.
Okay.
Again, I think the action was great. The story was pretty good, pretty easy to follow. I did like the twist, as we had mentioned. So I think, again, it's going to appeal to a lot of people, and I really hope people give it a chance and see it.
Same here. I really do hope they give it a chance. I think they will. I'm pretty sure we're going to see it number one in this coming weekend because it does come out, and so I think people are really going to go into it because this is Cameron Diaz's redemption. This is her
Foxx.
And
Those
Jamie
are
Foxx,
two big headliners
that have been out of the game for a while for their own personal reasons and everything. So it's really cool to see them both back at it again, and they both still have it. I'll say that they both are great. They feed off each other. Chemistry is very well. I'm about to give it a solid 6.8. I'm gonna go 6.8 out of 10, almost a 7, almost a 7. But again, we go back to where there was some silliness that got a little overbearing, but that's the point of the film. I get it. That's the point of the film, but it wasn't sitting well with me. Certain points, not all of it, certain points, and I feel like that brought me to the rating. So again, call me crazy. I know, Ryan, Angela, what the heck, Ryan? You don't even know what comedy, whatever. But hey, that was just my personal take here, guys. And let us know in the comments down below, what did you guys think of this film? Back to action. Cameron Diaz and Jamie Foxx. Let us know in the comments down below. As always, I am your host, Ryan D. Ryan680.
I am Angela.
Have a good one, guys, and don't forget, like, share, subscribe, and see you at the movies. Latest.